can assign it as a in your you can assign it in your Apache so that can be accessible. But for a quick thing, I have just to directly put inside your htdocs folder so that you can easily do it, because that is not our interest how to configure all these things. I just place it in the APSSDC folder. Here, when I am going here, first when I am typing simply localhost, what it is doing, it is trying to connect some other page and it is trying to bring the browser.php. So what it is basically doing, it is trying to read what is that index.php or what is defined in that root directory, that what when people are accessing what should be available. So that's why what it is doing, it is connecting to your index.php or browser.php. Okay, that is the default page. It is defined to this domain and it is bringing and it is putting that. But it is not our page. What we have to access? We have to access APSSDC. So now I am typing APSSDC. Now I could see all these pages like OpenLayer, then example, IMG, nodes, test, tools, all these things. Why all are visible here? Why all are visible? Huh? Any answer? Something called, you know that is something called as symlinks or follow links. So when you are reading your hardening your Apache or your web server, something, you know that directory browsing. Yes, please tell me, what is directory browsing? Why are you laughing at? He is a whistleblower for this meeting. So he told that yes, he knows what is directory browsing. We need people like him. Whether you know it or not, somebody should volunteer and they should tell that yes, something I have heard about directory browsing. You can sit down here. No, you don't need to answer also. You sit down. I'll answer on behalf of you. You see that something called option follows symlinks. Allow, override, none. Order, deny, allow, deny from all. So like this, you have set of parameters. So that is the one thing. What happened when you are going to this htdocs? You see that option indexes follows symlinks, allow, override, none, order, allow, deny, allow from all. So since it is allow from all, when you are typing APSSDC, it is allowing you to access from everybody. If you put a deny from all or order deny comma allow, it will not allow. Then why is that allow or deny, all these things are coming to the picture? You want to restrict this application for a simple browsing. And if you want to deny your directory listing, once you deny your directory listing, you will not have this kind of listing of all these things. So that's why none of your web page should show this kind of thing when you are developing. That is very, very important. What happened? I have given the URL called ftp:/bhuvan-ftp.nrsc.ua. Because it is a FTP link, you have to type FTP. If you type HTTP, what it will do? There is no HTTP application running in that server. It will redirect, it will show Bhuvan, because you are not allowed to access HTTP in that server. So that is the way. If you want to deny all these things, you have to deny your directory browsing or directory listing. You search in your Google, what is directory browsing or directory listing, or what is follow symlinks, all the things, you will get all the meaning, all the answer. So since it is a default thing, it is coming and it is listing out all the things. Okay, na? That is the lesson what we will learn from this one. Okay, so now what we will do, what is our next thing is, I want to show you that some of the existing application. How to do it? Go to examples. Here you can see that a lot of examples are there, and but our main examples, whatever I would like to show you, only 3-4 examples that I will show you. Then we can take one by one. The first example is, I'll show you that Bhuvan WMS.html. What it is showing, I'll explain you step by step. Then we can understand it. the JavaScript API which provide you to create a dynamic maps or dynamic web page. It is giving the facility to do all these things. So first you have to connect to your API. That what are all the functions or what are all the methods, what are all the features it is giving, it should be done. So here if you see that I have connected script library openlayer.js. Openlayer.js is your JavaScript API which is providing the facility to create your dynamic maps. Why we put a library then openlayer.js? It is available in my local machine. If you want to connect to Bhuvan, then you have to use http :/bhuvan.nrc.gov.in/openlayer.js, something you have to call like that. Since it is in my local system, I am putting like this. Then, if you see that we are initializing some parameters to create the map. So what are all the things we are initializing? We want to have one map. So map is nothing but your container. What is my container? What it will have it? That we have to have it. So now you may have a question that what is this container? What exactly this will do? Here if you see that when I am clicking this Bhuvan, I am having one area. This is my map area. You see that wherever my mouse is moving, so wherever the India is there, this is your map area. That is nothing but your map div. That map division, that is this one. Here if you see that we have to assign that map. How to create that map, how to initialize that map, that is called openlayer.map. When you are defining openlayer.map, it will create you the container. It will create you a framework. Now, what we want to do, once you have created a container, in that container, you have to add some property or some layers or some function you have to add it to that container. So for that, you can see that when I have created a container called map, on that map, I want to add the layer called OL_WMS. For that, what I am using? I am using map.addLayer. Okay, you have a container, you are adding one layer, so that is called map.addLayer. That variable we are calling OL_WMS. So that OL_WMS we are adding to the map. Okay, that is all right. Now, what is the OL_WMS? For that, I have told you, Bhuvan is enabling all OGC web services. To call that OGC services, you should have minimum 3 parameters. What is the parameter? One is layer URL. What is the layer URL? You should know. Then, second is what is the layer name? What is this layer URL and what is the layer name? Like any HTTP, when you are typing like that. What is the domain name of Google? You know that www.google.com. That is my domain name. If you want to access Bhuvan, bhuvan.nrc.gov.in. Like that, you should know what is the URL. You have to understand that what is the service available. Like in our service requester, I told you, in the triangle, service requester, service provider, service catalog. So service catalog is nothing but it will have all the information, whether Bhuvan or Google or Rediff or Yahoo, anything, everything will be available in your service catalog. So service requester will send first the request to the service catalog and what all things are available. Once the service catalog is understandable by the service requester, then service requester directly will send a request to your service provider and they will get the information. That service provider URL you should know. That is nothing but the URL what you are writing here. bhuvan3.nrsc.gov.in/cgi bin lulc250k.exe. So now I understand who is the service provider. For that service provider, once you know that, you should send that what you want to have it. For that, there are 2 more parameters. One is when we are taking the WMS web map service, first request you should send us a get capability. That I have already told. What are all the capabilities that fellows are having? So that will be listed out. Once you understand that one, you want to have a map. For that map, you should send a request called get map. So once you send the get map, that fellow will understand, okay, there is a request from one XYZ looking for this layer. So that's why he is sending a get map. So now what we have done is, we have defined bhuvan3.nrc.gov.in/cgabin/lulc2utk.exe as the URL. Then I told that what is the layer you want to have it. That is nothing but your getmap request. When you are sending your getmap request, you should send what you want, whether you want a wasteland or you want to have a land use land cover or you want to have a road map, everything should be defined. So that's why now in the layers we are defining LULC 250K 1314. Okay. So now you may have a question. You told me that you should have minimum 3 parameters, but only 2 parameters are defined. So why I used 3 is here. If you see, this framework is having the coordinate information in latitude, longitude. Suppose if your framework is having some other coordinate system, you should define your coordinate system also to the server, because if you send your request in some other projection, your server will not understand that what is the thing it should have it. So that's why if you go into our Bhuvan thematic service, I'll show you that one. Suppose any one of you want to have Andhra Pradesh land use land cover map of 2005-6. If you want to have it, what you should do is you go to something called web map service. You click this web map service. You will see all these parameters here. One is URL. Another one is what is the layer. Another one is the matrix set. That matrix set is nothing but your projection information. So that way you should have it. Then the version and what is the format. If you don't define the format, it will go with the default format. If you don't define the projection, it will go with the defined projection. Sorry, whatever the default projection you are having. But when you want to have the application in your own projection, you should define your projection. So that is the idea. So now what we will do, here you see that our example, we are calling this Bhuvan3 URL and we are taking the layer name as LULC250K and we are creating that OL_WMS. For that I told you, when you want to create a layer, you should have open layers.layer. What is that layer type? That layer type is WMS. That is the OGC service. So now you are having open layer. In that open layer, you want to add one layer. That layer is nothing but a WMS. That's why open layer.layer.wms you are putting. For that you are sending 2 parameters. One is the URL, another one is the layer name you are creating. So once that layer is created, that layer you are adding as a layer to your map frame. So now you would have got it. You are defining a template. For the template you are adding a layer. How you are adding the layer? You are adding the layer by open layer.layer.wms you are adding and you are sending to that one. So that way your HTML canvas is created. In that canvas, what is the input should come? That input is coming from the add layer function, and that add layer is supported by open layer.layer.wms. It is taking and it is adding that layer. Then now I have a big canvas I have added, but I want to show my area of interest. How to show that my area of interest? For that, map.setCenter is used. So when you are having the map.setCenter, it will zoom to that location. Okay, I want to zoom to JNTU. Then you have to have a latitude, longitude value of that particular area, and you should put it in that one. For that, you see that something called openlayers.landlord, and it is taking X, Y, and what is this 0? That is nothing but Z value. That Z is nothing but your zoom level. Whether you want to see it in your India level or you want to see it in a building level. So for that, accordingly you have to define. We will show one by one, and you can appreciate that how it is working. So now what we will do, we will go to that example. As I was telling, here we will type Bhuvan WMS.html. You see that. Now as I told, one framework is created, one box is created. In that box, now you are getting the map. This map is how it is coming. It is coming from openlayer.layer.wms, and it is coming. Now, since the Z value, whatever we have defined is 0, it is coming in India level. Now, I want to go to Hyderabad. What is the Hyderabad I'll show you. Here what we'll do, we'll type Hyderabad in the map, something Hyderabad Marriott Hotel. This is put up. When you are putting your mouse on that red color point, you see that right side 78.49, 17.42. That is the location, XY location of that particular point. So what we will do here, instead of 81, I'll put 78 approximately. Instead of 22.5, I'll put 17. Here 0. When we are again putting 0, it will go to the India level only. But we want to have a Hyderabad level. So what is this level? That level is nothing but the detail of information. When you are at 0, you will get a global level. But when you are in a 16th level or 17th level, you will see the building level information. So now what I am going to do, I'll put, suppose for example 13. Okay. Now I will save this page. Go to this our example page. Now I will simply refresh it. You see that now you are it is not refreshing. Yes. What happened? Something is cached in your system. It is not zooming. Oh, your password is also gone. Could you help me again? Huh? Ramesh. NPL. B. L. N. Capital A. Same thing. I don't know. Maybe we will check that one. It should zoom to your area, the Hyderabad area. So accordingly, we can define your map.setCenter of your values. So that can happen. So now maybe I will put some more lower level. I don't know why it is not happening. Yes. Now you can see that it has, when maybe that level would have gone higher level. So now instead of 5, I'll put 7. Save it. Now again refresh it. It is trying to connect it. Meantime, here what I want to do it. Now I want to go to Delhi. So now you take the Delhi coordinate. Delhi coordinate is 7728 approximately. Okay. Here again we will go. We will write 77, and here we will put 28. Here I will define 5 again. Save this one and refresh this page. Yes. Now we have gone approximately to Delhi area. Here you can see that this is the Delhi portion. Okay. So now you would have understood that when you want to zoom to any particular place, you have to use map.setCenter. For map.setCenter, you should take 3 values, X, Y, and what is the level you are looking for. These 3 things should be there that we are putting. Now what I have shown you, I have shown you how to connect to Bhuvan server for taking the land use lot cover map. Now I want to call some other map of Andhra Pradesh. How to call it? We'll go here. Shall we call this data and we will put it? For that what we will do? you see that there is something URL is there. You copy this URL. As I told that you should have the URL of each and every service. So now we are calling this URL. For that, here whatever is this existing URL is there, you delete that fellow. You put this one. So here you see that when you are calling openlayer.layer.wms, you are having three parameters. One is the layer name, that is nothing but a display name. What is that name? It should display. Second is URL. Another one is the real layer name. So these three parameters is here available. So now what you do? You want to have a layer name here. That is called as a layer. That here we are going to change it. For that, you go here. What is your layer name? This layer name is vector colon. Some name is there. You copy this one and put it here. And now it is ready. Now in this place, now we will again put it to Hyderabad location 78, 17 we will put it. And now this also we will change the layer, this display name to test something. We will change it. Now you save this one and go here. Go to your example. Now it is coming with the Delhi. Now I will simply put F5. You see that how the map is looking like. It will come slowly, don't need to worry. So like this, yeah, something is now coming with the Bhuvan. You can see all these. First the watermark is coming. So like this, what you can do is, whatever the layer you want to have it, you take the layer URL and you take the layer name. You can see that slowly it is adding. So you can take the layer name and you take the layer URL and you call that service from your web application. And it will connect to Bhuvan server and it will bring the data to you. Now you can see that slowly the Andhra Pradesh is getting loaded. So here, any doubt? I would like to have quick summary from one of you. What we are doing now, what I have done. Could you summarize it? What are the things you require to connect to Bhuvan server and bring the data and put it in your local machine or in your web application? Maybe I'll summarize you again. You need API for understanding the request or sending the request and getting the response. That is one. Second thing is, for that you should call openlayer.js. Then you have to initialize the some of the variables or some of the function. For that, to define the map, you have to use openlayer.map. That is nothing but your template, or that is nothing but your canvas. That canvas you are taking. For that canvas, you have to add the layer. For that, map.add layer is should be used. When we are adding the layer, you should use openlayer.layer.wms because it is a WMS service. If you want to use WFS, you should put openlayer.layer.wfs and you should put it. When you are calling openlayer.layer.wms, you should have minimum 2 parameters. One is nothing but a layer URL, another one is the layer name. That is nothing but now we have taken Andhra Pradesh and this is the layer, and when we are calling, now the Andhra Pradesh has come here. So now if you want to add some more layer on top of it, you can add it. How to do it? You have to use something called overlay. So there are all in open layer you have two things. One is the base, another one is the overlay. Now whatever we have done, we have created a base. On top of the base, we want to add some overlay. So how to do the overlay? So in that case, now if you see that when you are seeing this particular thing, map.add layer OL_WMS. I have added only one layer. When you are adding only one layer, that will come by default as a base layer. When you add the overlay, you have to have more layers, and then you can define whether which layer should be the base and which layer should be the overlay layer. You can define all these things. For that, what you have to do? You have to define whether overlay is true or false. Sorry, base is true or false. You have to do it. If base is true, then that will become a base layer, and base is false, then that will become as a overlay layer. That way you have to do it. How to do that one? You see that we have put some more example. That is Bhuvan overlay.html that we have put it. I'll quickly take you to this one. You see that the first layer is your open layer. That is nothing but your open layer, whatever is providing, that is a layer. From OSGeo it is coming. Then on top of it, we are having something called LULC 50K that is coming and that is adding. So as I told that the first layer, whenever we are defining without that one, it is taking as a base layer, and whatever the overlay layer is coming, that is coming as a overlay layer. Then you can forcefully define which should be the base, which should be the overlay. That options are also there, and that you can do it. Now here another interesting thing is getting added. That is nothing but adding the control. As I told that you have a base layer and you have a overlay layer. You want to define, I want to switch on, switch off that one. That is nothing but you want to enable your checkbox and disable your checkbox, or whenever the checkbox is checked, what layer should be loaded. That you are going to define it. For that, there is a control called layer switcher. How to add that control? As I told that you are having a map container. On that map container, you are adding a layer, map.add layer. You want to add a control, map.add control. That is coming from here. You see that map.add layer will add the layer, map.add control will add the control. Then as I told that there are a lot of widgets or a lot of controls are available. You have to add one by one. So for this layer switcher control, it is called openlayer.control.layer switcher. That is the control you are going to add it. How it will look like, you see the example, then we will again come to this code and see that one. Now I have put a Bhuvan WMS.html with the Andhra Pradesh map I have shown. Now you go to this another example what we have put it, Bhuvan overlay.html. You go to this particular thing. You see that first it is trying to connect to your open layer or OpenStreetMap, whatever the data is available. So now the data is come here, and now you see that you got one button here. That is nothing but your control. That control you are giving LULC 50K as a overlay. Okay. Now what we will do? We'll go here. I will simply comment this control, map.add control. Okay, I have commented this one. Now you save this fellow. Go again to this page. Now you refresh it. You see that control is not there, but still you will get the data loaded in this particular area. But now what I want to do, I want to overlay, I want to remove it. I want to switch on, switch off simply. For that you should have some control, then only you can do it. Otherwise both base and overlay are merged together. You cannot remove one fellow from that one. See, you see here now Gujarat map is loading. I want to remove Gujarat. How you will remove it? Until otherwise you have a control to remove or add. You cannot do it. For that only the map.add control of layer switcher control is given. So now you remove that one. Now you save this fellow. Again you refresh this page. Now you can see that control is added. Now that control is added. Here you see that Bhuvan LULC 50K, like that the overlay has come. You can understand easily. Base cannot be changed. That's why it is coming with the radio button. This is the overlay layer. You can have multiple overlay layer. That's why the checkbox has come with this one. And now you can see that slowly the Gujarat will come. Now I want to add Andhra Pradesh also into that one. What do you have to do? Tell me, any one of you. You want to add Andhra Pradesh on top of it. What we have to do? Not control, add layer. Yes. You have to use add layer to add another layer on top of it. That's all. Okay. how we are going to do it? You see here, now you take this example. You see, now what I will do? Yes, I'll simply copy this line, come to here, come to the next line. Here you see that. You go to this one. Now I want to add Andhra Pradesh LULC map. So now I have defined a variable called AP LULC 50K. For that, I told you that open layer.layer.wms you have to use for that map.add layer function. Now you see that LULC 50K of AP. Now I want to add AP data. So instead of Gujarat, I am putting AP. So you can see this also. We have made in such a way that by 2 digit you can understand this is Andhra Pradesh. By next 6th thing you can understand this is the LULC of 50,000 scale of what is 1112 is nothing but the year of mapping. So like this it has been put up. So now AP LULC 50K 1112 it has been put up. Now you have defined your layer. Now you want to add the layer. What you have to do? You have to use map.add layer. You put here AP LULC 50K. That's all. Now you can see that there is one base layer, there is 2 overlay layer. You simply save this one, go to this page. Now you refresh this page. You go to this thing, you will have 2 buttons. Okay, Bhuvan LULC 50K, Bhuvan LULC 50K, AP. Now I will switch off this 50K Gujarat. I'll go to Andhra Pradesh. I will zoom further. Now I'll simply switch on this one. You can see that slowly that Andhra Pradesh LULC 50K data will come and sit on this one. So that way you can have the base layer and you can have the multiple overlay layers. That multiple overlay layers you can add or you can remove. Like this, there are so many controls are there. You want to have a scale bar, you want to have a draw, or you want to have a zoom in, zoom out. Like that, whatever the control you are looking for, the controls are already predefined and it is available in open layer. You can call whatever the control you want to have it. You want to have a pan zoom bar, you want to have a navigation control, you want to have a identification control, whatever the control you want to have it, you can define according to whatever the parameters you have to pass it, you can pass and you can take the layer and you can put it. So this is one such example, you can do it. So now this example is also giving another dimension that, as I told that the web services are providing the facility to have a interoperable communication. So that's why you see that one layer I am calling from Bhuvan, another layer I am calling from OSGeo. So some is coming from another source, another data sets are coming from another source. You are taking everything and you are mashing up. So that's why it is called as a spatial mashup. So in web domain, you would have already heard that web page, website, then web portal, then mashup. So this mashup will give you a facility to create something new out of existing thing. So you would have seen nowadays a lot of music mashups. Some slow songs they will put it in a fast beat and a fast, like whatever the music, how they are doing the VJs or DJs. Same thing, you are trying to collect some information and you are trying to mix up and creating something new. So that's why that is the way you are collecting the multiple resources and you are mashing up and you are creating something new. That is happening in this particular thing. Now you can see that the Andhra Pradesh data is getting overlaid on the OpenStreetMap. Now you can switch on, switch off. So this control is coming from your layer switcher control. Okay, that is the example. So from this example, you know that how to add a base, how to add a overlay, how to add a control, how to call from 2 different sources. All are put up together in this overlay.html. Now, our next example is 2 example I am going to do it. One is the search. Another one is the how you can include this search in your Bhuvan. How you Okay. Now, then something is happening. First, we will see the output, how it is happening. Then we will come to our section. Go here, APSSL, this one. I'll type search.html. I'll enter it. What is the mistake? Anyone? Huh? Our URL is wrong because I have missed that examples. You see that? Some text box is there. Then some results are there. What is happening here? What I will do? Here I will type any place name. You tell me. Where are you from? You tell me. Chennarity. Tenali. Okay. I'll put Tenali. Go. You see that? Tenali, Guntur, Andhra Pradesh. Tenali, maybe Mandal, Guntur, Andhra Pradesh. Okay, what is this one? Is nothing but whatever the database we are having in our Bhuvan. If you give any place name, it will try to match with our Bhuvan server and it will try to bring the value like this. Is it sufficient to you? No. Along with this value, you should also have the latitude, longitude. Then you can go to that location. So now what we have done, we have simply taken a text information and we searched in our database and we are bringing the result in this one. But along with this result, the lat long also come. Then you can zoom to that location. Using what function I will zoom to that one? In the previous exercise, map.setCenter. Yes. If you use map.setCenter and if you pass this value XYZ, then you can zoom to that location. Okay. Now I want to go to Sriharikota. I should know the Sriharikota lat long or Sulurpet. Huh? You know Sulurpet, na? Nobody knows Sulurpet? Okay, very good. Okay. I want to go to Sulurpet. Okay. So I should know Sulurpet lat long. So what we will do? We'll send somebody to Sulurpet and take the lat long and then we will feed it to the system. No, we should not do it. How to get it? For that, there are plenty of geolocation APIs are available. So here we can have two ways. One is geocoding, another one is reverse geocoding. Okay. If you put a lat long, it will go to the location. Or if you define the location, it will give you the lat long and you can go to that location. So right now what we are doing here, we are putting the location name and we are trying to go to that location. So that is our idea by reading the lat long. So that we are going to provide here. For this, some other place name, this time we will type Sulu. You see that it is what is this function called? Whenever I am keying in, some values are coming and going. Huh? Match. Huh? Match. Okay. Anything? What we are trying to do is, anyway, it is match only. What we are trying to do is, we are trying to take the number of characters and we are trying to match the database and putting. So basically what we are doing, we are trying to do autocomplete. Correct now? So that much value will be going to server and it will bring the result and it will put it. So how it is happening? It is happening based on your Ajax call. What is Ajax? Huh? Yes. One is no need to reload the web page. So without observing the refresh, it will happen. How it is happening? That is important to us. So that Ajax in general will happen based on your XML HTTP request. So what it will do, in the back end, it will keep on communicate to your server and it will bring the data and readily available and it will give it to the user. So that the user will not see the refresh or user will not see the wait time. So So it will not refresh again and again. Now you see that in our map, now I am in this Delhi area. You see that I'll move here. How this map is coming in a seamless mode. Is it loading again and again? You see that. Is it loading again and again? This page? Is it refreshing? Yes or no, boss? Okay. How it is happening? The XML HTTP request is going to the server. I have defined a buffer. Whether I want to keep buffer of one tile or two tile. So accordingly, the tile is already fetched and it is available. So when I am moving my mouse, it is immediately coming. So that is nothing but your Ajax call that is happening. So now you see that I will randomly jump from one location to another location. It will not, it will show the white screen, then it will load it. But if I move only little bit, you can see that. Have I seen, are we seeing the white screen here? No or yes? Yes, where we are seeing the white screen, you tell me. Okay, I'll go to this area. Are we seeing the white screen now? You tell me. No. But if I jump into some other place, immediately I will see the white screen and then it will be covered with the tile because that buffer is exceeded to that location. That's why it is not there. So you are creating some buffer and you are sharing the data. Same way here, if you see that when I am putting U, then I get a 4 requests. When I am putting L, I didn't get any request. So that way the data sets are optimized and it has been put up with the autocomplete on. So this way you can get what is the place name and what is the taluk name or what is the district name and what is the state name. All the detail you can get it in this page. Now, how to use in our map viewer? That is our next exercise. You go to Bhuvan API.html. You see here, we are going to use the same thing. First, I will show the output, how it is looking like. Then you can understand how you can do it, how this code will be done. Bhuvan API.html, you put it. You go to this place. India is there. Now, what is your place name? Tenali. We will go to Tenali. Okay. Now I'll put go. You see that there are two Tenali. Tenali, Guntur, Andhra Pradesh, then Tenali Mandal. I want to go to this one. You click here. It is going and it is adding the place mark here. Okay. Now I want to go to where? Hyderabad. You see that when I am typing 4, I got Hyderabad, Rangareddy, Hyderabad, Unnao, Hyderabad Marriott Hotel, Hyderabad Road, Bidar. So now I want to go to Uttar Pradesh, that Unnao district, Hyderabad. I'll click this one. It will zoom to that location. Now we go to this code. What we are doing? First, we have to create a canvas. That canvas we have created using the OpenLayer.map. Then we have added the LULC 50K. You can see that layer is added. Now you can see that we want to add one marker because whenever we are searching, there should be one marker. So to define that marker, OpenLayer.layer.marker. To define a WMS, what we have to use? Very good. Here we are going to add the marker. That's why we have put OpenLayer.layer.marker. We have put it. That marker, to add that marker again, map.addLayer marker. So you have one base and one overlay. So whenever we are adding that map.addLayer 2 times, 3 times, everything will become as a overlay layer. So that's why it is going to be sit on top of it. Now we have done this much. If you do only this much, you will get only the map. But we have to enable the search API and we have to bring the data on top of it. For that purpose, you can see that whenever you are entering the value in your text box, the Ajax request is going and it is bringing the response, and the response Yes. So what exactly, what is the use of these fellows, XML or JSON, all these things? These are all nothing but some output format, and it is a well structured format so that you can read the entity of each and everything, so that only you can take the tag. Okay, I want to read the latitude. So there will be some tag called latitude. You can you can call that tag, and you can go to that location and you can put it. Here if you see that, how the tags are coming, array.result of name, then district, then state. That is the reason why here whenever you are typing any name here, now I will type Guntur. When you are typing Guntur, you see that Guntur of Nanded of Maharashtra, Guntur Andhra Pradesh, Guntur Andhra Pradesh, Guntur Palli Kolar. So like this all the matches are happening and it is coming. So this is your name, this is your district name, this is your taluk name. That way the JSON is defined and the name, district and taluk, all the things are coming. Now from where the latitude and the longitudes are coming, you see here, whatever the result you are having, the first in your array, that is your longitude, and then you are having the latitude, and that longitude and the latitude you are taking, that again you are sending as a marker to odd marker, and you are sending this latitude and longitude value, and you are zooming to that location using the map.setCenter. Okay, so now the bottom line is, you are taking any name and you are searching in your Bhuvan database. Once the name is matched with the Bhuvan database, all the results are coming. Once you know the result, each and every result is associated with the latitude, longitude. That lat long you are taking, at that lat long using the map.setCenter, you are zooming to that location. So this is a simple search. Okay, when you want to search any place, you can take this code and you can enter that value, so that it will take the value and it will zoom to that location. So that is the idea of keeping this search.html and Bhuvan API.html. So all these codes are explained here, and whenever the success is there, it will take the lat long and it will go and it will zoom to that particular location. So this is our idea of adding the value. And here you can see that something suddenly come, map.getZoom. So when you want to understand the zoom level, you are using the map.getZoom, so that what is the existing zoom. If the zoom value is greater than 5, you go to exact latitude, longitude, and the zoom level, whatever the zoom you are. If it is less than 5, you define always 6 as the default value. How it is working, you see here. Now I am in somewhat India level. Okay, it means I am lesser than 5. When I am lesser than 5 zoom level, I'll default to go to 6 zoom level. So now you see that I'll type some other name. This time I'll type Chennai. You click this one. You are getting a lot of result here. Something I'll type. So it is going to this zoom level and it is maintaining. Now I'll type again Hyderabad. Hyderabad has come. Now you see that this zoom level is maintained. Same way it is panning here and there and it is putting. Now you see that I'll increase my zoom level. It means I have gone beyond the 5th level. This time when I am typing Bangalore, and when I am clicking there, that whatever zoom level we are, that level will be maintained. So that way this map.getZoom is used to maintain the zoom level. Okay, na? So map.getZoom will give the what is the level we are. If you want to go to the building level, we have to use higher zoom level like 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 like that. If you want to show it in India level, 0, 1, 2 like that you can put it. When you want to show it in state level, 4, 5. So like that you can define, so that whatever the view extent you are defining, According to the view extent, you can bring your data and put it using this map.setCenter function, and you can do it. So this is the way you can add the map, and you can enable the search function, and you can do it. So now tomorrow, if you would like to add any data from Bhuvan, you can go to the Bhuvan thematic service, and whatever services are available under the web services tab, you can copy that one and you can integrate it through the open layer. And if you want to show all the marker, if you know the lat long, you can use the marker function, and each and every marker you can add the thing called marker.odd marker, open layers.marker. This latitude longitude value, if you define it, the marker will keep on added, so that so many markers will come and you can put it. So this is the way you can do it. If you connect to your database, you can read from your database and you can put it in an array, so that all the values will be plotted in a single shot. No need to repeat it. Anyway, that you can do it. Otherwise, simply you hard code and append one by one, all markers will come. But better is to drive from database, and then you add it, then the things will be getting solved. So this is another example what we would like to show you. So right now we have seen how to add the map in your canvas, how to add the overlay layer, and how to add the layer switcher control. We have seen 3. Then how to have a simple search. We have seen it will only list out the result like this. Then how to use the search result to zoom to that location. That is nothing but this example what we have seen it, so that it will go and sit in that zoom location wherever we want to zoom it. So like this, we have put some 4-5 basic example. You can start explore it, and you can also become a master using all these things. With this one, I'll stop, and let's see, sir. You would like to? Then he will take up further. Then we can have any discussion later. We can have it.
Deploy that on Windows, I can deploy that on iOS also. Okay, the advantage of the Cordova is that, and it is very user friendly. Easily we can develop within a couple of days, and you can have your own application, and that application can be used to collect the information. In ISRO, whatever I was telling you, that location based services, that is nothing but we collect field collected data. That is, you go to field, collect some information and send it to Bhuvan server. That sort of mechanism only we deal with. Okay, we are not going to deal with like Google Earth sort of thing. Like you have a map and then you navigate it and you get a route. These sort of applications we are not into. We are only into collecting the informations. Okay, why we do all this in ISRO? Basically, the role of NRC is to collect, process and apply remote sensing data. Anybody knows about remote sensing? Nobody do not know? Remote sensing is basically a survey which deals with, without any contact of that object, you can take the measurements of that object and do some processing, do some analysis of that. It is basically very layman definition. So what our satellites do, they capture the images of the Earth's surface, and you do some process and then get some results out of it, right? With this process, here you are interpreting that satellite data. That is, you have a picture, right? See, for example, if this is a picture of India, can you find out what is this blue mark? I have to use probably this cursor. Do you know what is this blue mark? You do not know, because it is not your own photograph. Am I right? Right? If it is your own photograph taken and it is being shown here on the screen, then you can tell that this is this person, because your brain identifies who is this person and how it is getting linked. So in that scenario, you could able to interpret a person, but satellite data you are not able to interpret because you don't have a knowledge to it. So here in this case, this is basically a water body, right? This is very clear. Blue object is basically a water body, so you could able to tell this is a water body. But if it is any scientific thing, like for example geology, if you take, or else crop you take, crops are all seen in green in color. See, if you could able to tell crop, whatever you see in the satellite data, green are called as vegetation. Can you tell what type of vegetation it is? For example, if it is an agricultural land, can I tell that it is a paddy crop? Can I tell it is a wheat crop? Can you tell? It is not possible. It is very difficult. Only specialized people can do it. Even specialized people can do such mistakes. To verify that, we have developed a mechanism to visit the field information, that is collect the field information and then do some analysis and find out whether that whatever I have interpreted is right or wrong. Okay? Are you getting me, or are all bouncers? No? I am not finding any. You are not getting me? Somebody has to tell me. You are getting me? No. Thank you. You see, it is not like one way. You can stop me somewhere, you can ask some questions. I am sorry for the other rooms. The thing is, if you could able to identify a thing, then it is fine. If it is not, there are some doubts in your mind whether whichever I identified is right or not. That requires is field inspection. In earlier days, what we used to do is, we used to go to field with a form and we used to collect. Whatever I see it on the ground, I used to collect, and you used to even take maps and you find, you locate that where I am standing and come back and you do interpretation. You do corrections in your interpretation. That's how it used to be. After some time, GPS has come, and GPS has taken over and it starts collecting latitude and longitude. What Arul was telling, all about latitude, longitude. What is the Hyderabad's latitude, longitude? Yes, you are right. So, that information this GPS instrument is giving, right? With this and the whatever information you try to fill in the form, that get embedded and you try to correct your data. Then later came mobile phones with GPS as well as a good OS which had making of forms like like pages, different pages, and then that can be sent dynamically to the server. This is what we have done now. Presently, in this stage we are, that is, we are into a mobile, we are using a mobile device to collect feed information and send it to server. So I'll just show you how it works. Then we will go to development component, because what I am doing, if you don't understand what a person on the ground, see, basically if I develop a software and I give it to a person, if it doesn't know what he has to do with it, it is of no use. If I develop a software, it has to be readable to all the people, and then it has to be used well. So for that, what I will do is, I will show you some of the features in the software, and later on we will come to development part. In development part, we will discuss only about scenarios. Arul. So what I will do is, I'll try to connect my mobile into this system, and you can see whatever changes I'm doing it in mobile. Right? This is basically a software called as Android Screen Monitor. Everybody knows about this? No? It is freely downloadable software, and if you install this, you can show to people what are you doing it on the mobile. Okay? Now, you see, there was an icon. See, you could be able to see there is an icon here, Bhuvan icon, FDC training app. Okay, this is a very simple application. If I click on that, I'm clicking on that, and app opens. Here we are leading to collection page. What it is doing is, we have a GUI which is meant to collect attributes, whatever see it on the ground. You have that features in your software. You have provision to collect location information, that is nothing but a button called as capture location. Then we have facility to capture a photograph, that is proof of your visit and what it is pictorially, how it is represented. That. So there are three things which you go and collect in the field. That is, one is attribute, the second is location, and third is photograph. These three things will come, and you are going to send that to a Bhuvan server. So let me do one thing and just show you. What I'll do is, this is a college I selected. Then I'm typing it APSSDC. Okay, I'm trying to capture the location information. If you see here, there is a location accuracy depicted there, that is 1400. That means what it has done, it has looked for the mobile servers and it has captured this information. But if you stand out and switch on your GPS, here you find GPS, you switch on this GPS, then it will immediately come down to less than 10. That means you have to wait for some time till the satellites are tracked, and that can be read, and then you improve the accuracy. How GPS is calculated, do you know? Anybody knows it? No? No. See how GPS, yeah? No, it is not 3 satellites. It's basically 27 satellites are there, developed by US, and it always rotates. All the 27 rotates around the Earth. From any point on the Earth, a minimum of 4 satellites can be viewed. Right? Minimum of 4 satellites can be viewed, and that gives your location. With the how it will calculate is, it knows its location on the space. With that location information, it tries to capture your location and give it in the form of a signals. Fine, it's very layman, this thing. Not worry about those things. See, now I got about 10 meters. That is, I could able to track my satellites. If I go out and stand, further it will reduce. By clicking on this button, I can capture this lat long, and even I can take the photograph. Here in this app, what we have done is, we have given a provision to capture 2 photographs. So we will capture 2 photographs. We have provision to enter what it is, and then we can simply send this. So what I'll do is I'll send and see. Right? Once I click on send, it starts sending this information, and it will, once it reaches the Bhuvan server, it will tell me data successfully loaded into the Bhuvan. What are the applications you find? It will help us. Anyone can tell? Anyone can tell what sort of applications we can see? We have to use our brains. So what is that? One is location, another one is photo, the third one is attribute. These 3 things we are collecting. Where we can apply this? Anyone? Some idea? Just float these ideas. It has reached the server. Huh? Cyclone vachinappudu. So good. It's a good answer. See, we can develop this app and put it for disaster mitigation activities. What is this? What it means? You can give some information to some person who is sitting at a place that there is a disaster happening there, and you don't go to that place, right? That information can be dealt, and since it is near real-time transfer of information, it immediately you can communicate to the other person. So if I open my Bhuvan page and see, always watching what is happening on the world, I can know that what is happening at which place. That is, but somebody has to upload this information. Am I right? Right? So you need people to upload this information, and you can help others in communicating this information. Okay? Right, fine. Now let us see how it is seen on the Bhuvan. Right, there is a point here. Now let us zoom to that point. Whether we have reached that location, where we are, we can find out. So this is our building. Okay, this is our building, and let us relate ourselves where we are. Right, this is Pragati Nagar tank. Am I right? And this is our building, and this is what the where we, right? So you could able to appreciate what is happening here, what we have done, right? You could able to communicate with photograph and attribute. That is, what is that attribute? We have typed it as college and APSSCC, right? Anything you can tell. Like, for example, if there is some disaster going on some other place, you can tell that, oh, there is a bridge collapse, and that information, you take a photograph of the bridge collapse and send it. That can be viewed, and this can be viewed by all the public. Since this is a web-based information, it can be seen all over, and that will help others to restrict themselves. Okay. So now you got what is happening with the mobile, right? Now let us go to development part.
Just I would like to take 2 minutes of your time. In this crowd, in this room, how many of you are having smartphones? So almost all are having smartphones.
Some are not lifting their hands.
No, they won't lift. They will lift after hearing the thing. So now, how many of you are having the data connectivity in the mobile phone? Because most of you may be using Facebook, WhatsApp. Then what else? Anything else you will use in your only two? Huh? No data connection. Okay. But you are having smartphone. Very good. No, you are having smartphone. Nah? Very good. That's fine. So now, what is the immediate thing what we would like to do it after this exercise? There is some program called Clean India, correct? Something, but it is called Clean India. Okay. So we have something called the Clean India. Then something now we are also having the similar program called Clean Hyderabad. Okay. So like this, anyway, for entire nation we are doing that program and thing. So what we would like to do is, we would like to, this is one small exercise to you. You take your smartphone and wherever you are finding a dustbin, whether it is a small dustbin or big container, you take a photograph and you write that this is the dustbin located in the place name, located in Hyderabad, Jubilee Hills, or located in Guntur, or located in Vijayawada, doesn't matter. Wherever you are going away, wherever you are going out, wherever you are finding a dustbin, you take a photograph and you write that this is the dustbin, this is small in size or medium or big, or you can write the capacity like 10 liter, 12 liter, or that way, or you can write, there will be some remark in the dustbin also. What is the capacity of the dustbin? That also you write it and you send it to Bhuvan. Okay. So that will be a very good contribution by learning this mobile phone, whatever the mobile demo we are giving, and you contribute that one. So that is a good contribution to the Clean India program. What you are going to, whatever the Clean India program is there, that will be a good contribution from your side. Will you do it? Yes, I will see that how many of you are uploading the photograph. Okay, anyway, we know that we know all your names who is attending this program, and we can easily check it out in our server who is contributing the data. Okay, it is not only restricted to dustbin. You can also share. Okay, this is the tourism place, this is the ATM, this is the bank, or this is the some war memorial. Like that, whatever the places of interest are there, you can take a photograph and you can send it. But since the Swachh Bharat is going on, you can take a photograph of dustbin and you can share it with the Bhuvan, so that any citizen, they should know that where the dustbin is located, so that they will not litter in the road. Yeah. So you are interested, we'll note down your name, and you are contributing at least some 50 points. See, not only today. See, you are, I don't know how you are commuting. Suppose assume that you are walking in the road. You find one dustbin. Take a photograph and send it today. And tomorrow you are going to some other place. Or day after tomorrow you are going to some other place. Wherever you are seeing the dustbin, take a photograph and send it. Okay, na? That you do it. That will be the brilliant contribution from your side. And Bhuvan will be enriched with all those information. And this will ultimately help for the nation. That's why I use one word called societal good or societal benefit. Whatever the application we are having in Bhuvan, it is meant for society. It is meant for societal benefit. So you can also contribute. Okay, now, so that people will know that where is the dustbin, so that they can put the data. They can put the dust or they can put the litter into that one. Okay, they will not do anything in the roads. You can extend, you can think the similar thing for other thing also. Okay, you can bring a lot of new innovative application using this point of interest, whatever we are showing. Okay,
you can develop your own apps and give it to us, and then we will deploy it on the Bhuvan, and that can be used by all, and it can be we can develop a good database which will help us in developing our nation. Okay, good. So, to start with, anybody knows about how to develop an Android app? Yeah, you know it. Good. 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. So, many of them know it. But you have not come across Corodo, right? So, probably this will enlighten you some of the things. It is very simple. You can simply do some installations. Whatever you could able to see this URL, right? Please note down. I will just copy and put it in later stage. You remind me. Not now. Don't you hear me first, right? Once I complete this, you remind me that I have to give the URL. I will give you, and you can note down and you can use this URL. First thing, to develop an Android, what is that you require? Sir, you don't speak. Let others speak. You know it, I know. So you people are working with Eclipse. So you need to have an IDE, so you are doing it. But whatever I am talking about, it doesn't require any IDE. It is, you can simply type it on Note and then you can work on it. It's a very simple thing, but only thing is you are all are software people, so I understand that you know how to code it. So with that knowledge, I am just going ahead, right? I am not here to teach how syntax has to be written, and I am not here to teach how coding has to be done. Okay? So I was told that I need SDK. Am I right? Right. First thing what you have to do is your desktop, the system which you want to develop, that requires an SDK, Android SDK. You can simply Google it, you will get it, and you simply first put it in a folder, and you need to give environment. You know about environment variable in systems, right? So you need to give two paths for it. One is you will have a folder called as SDK. Inside that you will have a folder called as platforms, platform tools, again tools. These two folders, platform tools and platform, both you should give in system variables. Once you install or copy that thing, I'll show you how to do this. Go to computers, right click, properties, advanced system, environment variables. In path, what you are giving? These two things you are giving. Just now I have installed this. This is one. The other one is tools. Just immediately after that. You got me? You have to say yes. After this, you need to install some of the things like node.js. Once you install that, you get access to a application called as npm, which will help you in installing Cordova. This is a syntax, that is npm install -g Cordova. Okay, this will allow you to help Cordova. Okay, once you need internet connectivity to your system at that time. Once you do that, you can simply type Cordova space create space hello space some application ID. This is nothing but hello is basically a folder, right? com.example.hello is basically an application ID, and hello world is basically application. Okay. Once you run this, a set of folders will be created with some index file, index.html, and then that can be used for your writing your script. After doing that, see, this is basically an Cordova. Till now what we have done is we have just developed or generated a application, that's all. But we are not talking about location-based services. For location-based services, there are some plugins which are to be installed, that I will show you in later stage. here if you have to add Android here, once you type this syntax that Cordova space platform add Android, it will start installing Android into the existing app. So what you have to do is, first, once you create your project, you have to enter into that folder where the project is created, then add the Android or iOS, whatever in platform you want to develop, that you can enter. Then once you put that, you can simply build it. That generates an Android application. Is it very simple? Only 4 steps. Am I right? All are confused. Am I confusing? Tell. You should talk here. Right? Is it simple? Right. Here I am not showing it. Okay. Then how to make location-based services? For that, you have to add some plugins, like whatever plugins you are getting, you could able to see it here on the screen. That is device information, plugins related to device information, network connectivity, accelerometer, compass, and geolocation. This actually this plugin plays a role in collecting GPS information. Then you can add these files on device or network, and globalization, and in-app browser. See, if you could, what are the advantages of this? We will be discussing this. Firstly, basic device means, do you know what it does? That is, it will allow you to access the device features, right? That is, to initiate an action or to initiate your program with some string or instruction that requires a device information API. After that, it is self-explanatory. That is, network connection. That is, you need network connection to send the information from mobile to server, right? For that you need this. Then to access, there are some sensors in your mobile. That is, accelerometer is a sensor, compass is a sensor, and geolocation you have a sensor. Geolocation is nothing but you see it in the GPS sensor in your mobile. That is nothing but geolocation here in their terms. Okay. Once you do this, you could able to access all these things. Then once you add this, and you can start writing code on the features, on accessing these features and writing some programs. I'll show you how to do that also. Everything is available on the web. You can simply probably you have typed this Android. You have check off codes which will help you not finding it. reduce. One minute. Just start. Yeah, this is. See, these are some of the APIs where how you can, it will help you in coding it. Yeah, these are some of the things which will help you in integrating the code. Like for example, if it is geolocation, the syntax is like this. That is device dot geolocation. If that is the syntax, you can access the lat long out of it. The return will be latitude, longitude, and you will have even this one. What is that? Height, altitude. So this is how you have to build the app. And once you type build build see, these are some of the APIs. If you see here, capture location. Above that, you have a blue text which is showing the accuracy of that. So how it is we write in JavaScript a set chunk of script which will allow me to access the sensor and dynamically fetch the accuracy of that particular location. What is that accuracy? It is basically a NEMA string which is sent by a server through a control room. What is that NEMA? NEMA is nothing but National Marine Electronic Marine Association. It is they have an association. They developed an algorithm which will tell using control room, which will tell what is the accuracy of your location based on the locations of the satellites. Okay, that information can be fetched out. So these sort of things can be developed and you can use it. So in applications like this, what we can do is we can have facilities to store this information. Then that store information can be edited. That sort of mechanisms we can develop. Like if you see here, I go to data sets. I have already stored this information, and here if you see here, I have stored this information and I can access that information which I have already captured. This information can be accessed and you can edit these things. That sort of facilities you can put it in your Android app. and we can have help also to it, that is in-app browser, whatever plugin we have downloaded, that added, that will help us in creating this new additional HTML pages. Okay, and we can even develop a mechanism that once you initiate the app, what we can do is we can give a facility that user invariably adds his profile. For example, here in our app, what we have done is, in user profile we have given user ID, your name, mobile number, and your organization which you belong to. So these information you can develop a scenario in such a way that once you install an app and initiate the action, it should allow you to first fill this information and then only allow you to enter into the other collection page. So these set of mechanisms can be built in inside your app. Again, see, when you transfer this information, that is from mobile to server, what happens is, from mobile the data flows to the tower of the field, then it has to reach, data should reach the tower of Hyderabad, and then it has to reach Bhuvan server. So during that process, if there is any communication failure, then what happens is we can write instructions, that is ft.upload. This is the command that which will allow you to upload the information into the server. That will always look for a return string called 200, which will allow you to know that has information has touched the server. So if you get 20 as a return value, then you can write, if you don't get, then you can put that entire information into send field, and that can be accessed later on, or that can be reloaded later on. So these sort of scenarios we can develop. Then we can develop a scenario like, once it reaches the server, you can recall that information, that is point information, whatever you collect and send, that information can be seen. For example, if you see here, yesterday we had a meeting. So whatever I sent, it has come, right? Since it has reached the server, it can be seen here. So these sort of mechanisms can be developed in the app. So what are the things which I have told? I'll just summarize. First thing is, there are three things what we generally do. We generally collect location information, photograph, and attribute for that, whatever you are seeing there, that is getting collected, and we are sending it to Bhuvan server. How we are sending it is through internet, and we are using in Korodava ft.upload, and that will allow us to send the information to the Bhuvan server. And at Bhuvan server, we are using whatever Arul has told you. We are trying to visualize, organize this data into an RDBMS, and then we can see it. Okay, that's all I have. And if you have any questions on this? Arul. Can show some of the applications.
Okay. If you have any question, we have one forum. Bhuvan discussion. Yeah.
Validation of what? your question could be like this. How can we know an authorized person has sent this information or who has sent this information? Right? It can be that way. So what we do is when we are developing this app, it has a feature called API has got a feature called as UUID. That is unique identifier of the device. It will generate a code, 16-digit code. With that, we can identify which device from which device it has come, and that can be tracked at server level. It can be tracked, and even you can stop data coming into your server. That is basically server-side programming. But is when you send this information, we even send this UUID along with it. It's the alphanumeric code that we will send it, and that will allow us to visualize. If you see here, you can just show one point. You can show which has UUID in it. See, if you see here, the fifth column, fifth row which is highlighted here, it is basically UUID. This UUID can be sent to the server, and at server side we can handle this, whatever issue we have. See, if you see here, these are some of the projects which we have done. That is what Arul was talking about some time back, that is AP State Housing Corporation. We could able to collect about 3.5 million records, that is observations in just 3 months for 1,000 people. 1,000 people have done that, and we could able to collect, and these are actually linked to even this project is basically for people who have got some money for schemes. That is, government of Andhra Pradesh is supporting that you have constructed, and they'll come, inspect, and they release the remaining amount. Okay, that's how it is. So what we have done is we have developed an app, and we have given them all engineers are being enabled with this app, and they collect this information like location. They capture 2 photographs. They capture the beneficiary ID. That is, the beneficiary ID is given to each beneficiary. So that ID they will enter. They will enter some of the features what they see it on the construction site, like type of house, direction in which the house is facing, stage at which the construction is, and the condition of the house. Then whether it is, if it is completed, whether it is occupied by the beneficiary or not. So with this information, we can even monitor the activities on the ground, and even you can release some money. Now, government of Andhra Pradesh made such a way, mechanism they have made such a way that until you upload this information on Bhuvan, you will not be given next installment. So these sort of things can be linked. And again, if you see here at the bottom, click here. This is the total history of their transactions. If you see here, complete history of their transactions can be seen in the MIS. That is, spatial data is getting linked with the MIS information which is already available with some other organization. So we are linking. How we are linking? If you see here, if you see the URL, it is basically, it is getting linked with this beneficiary ID. Whatever beneficiary ID which he has which was given, and with that it is getting linked, and you could able to specifically locate that person's history, what has happened, and when she has got the amount, at what intervals she has got, and total amount which she has got in this case is basically 23,000 some odd. So this is how we can, this is one of the scenarios we can work it out.
So if you have any queries, you can write it to Bhuvan forum. You can see that there is a forum, bhuvan-forum.nrsc.gov.in. That is our URL. Or else you can, you can add, type simply bhuvan-forum.nrsc.gov.in, where you can post your queries. So if any other similar queries are there, you can read and you can get the answer, or else you can log in and you can post your query. And the login is very simple, and it is following the central authentication. So meaning once you create a login, you are allowed to have a common access. And once you sign on till you close the browser, or you close the session, it will be retained in a cookie, and you will be allowed to access all these details. So basically, it is a ticket. It will be generated. So wherever you want to put your query, you can put your query on this particular thing. Okay, na? Otherwise, our email ID is bhuvan@nrsc.gov.in, where you can write if you have any queries, and you can get the answer from us, or somebody else from that forum also will answer you. Okay, na? So with this one, we'll stop, and we'll be very much thankful for you, for your kind patience, and we look forward more dustbin location to Bhuvan, and that is your first exercise. You kindly make it happen, so that it is a good contribution to by you to the nation. Okay, so these are all our things. Okay, na? So you take it, and then thank you very much.